Okay, so if you're an independent professional, let's be honest, there's a pretty good chance that your website, your single most important marketing tool, is actually holding you back. Today, we're going to talk about a whole new way to think about managing it and how AI is making that easier than it has ever been. So let me ask you something right off the bat. When you think about your website, do you see it as a project that's, well, finished? Or do you see it as this nagging problem that's just way too complicated to fix? Turns out, most of us fall into one of those two camps. Let's dig into what these really mean, because they're both traps. On one side, you've got the project mindset. You know the deal. You spent a ton of time and money, a developer built it, and now it's done. It just sits there, slowly but surely becoming a digital fossil. Then, on the other side, you've got the anxiety mindset. This is where you know it needs work, but just the thought of hiring someone and spending more money is so overwhelming that you just do nothing. And all the while, the gap between what your site says and what your business actually does gets wider and wider. And here's the bottom line. Both of these mindsets, the it's done and the it's too hard, they both lead to the exact same place. You end up with an ineffective website that isn't doing its job. It's not a tool for your business. It's either a monument to what you used to be or just a constant source of stress. So what's the way out? We have to start thinking of our websites as living documents. Now this is a huge mental shift. A living document is never finished. It's a dynamic tool that grows and changes right along with your business. And this is the most important part. It's something that you can maintain yourself. Right about now, you're probably thinking, that sounds amazing, but I am not a developer. And this right here is where everything changes. AI tools completely obliterate that technical barrier. They make website maintenance something that isn't a technical task anymore. It's just something you can get done yourself in an afternoon. Okay, so if we've got the power to update our own sites now, where should we even start? Where do we focus to get the biggest bang for our buck? Well, it really just comes down to 3 key areas. Here they are, the big 3. First, you need content that actually turns visitors into clients. Second, you need SEO so people can discover you in the first place. And third, you need ongoing maintenance, which builds trust and makes you look credible. If you can get these 3 things right, your website finally starts working for you. First up, content. We're talking about the actual words on the page. For most of us, that text was probably written once when the site was built and then never looked at again. But that copy, that's your #1 sales tool. Just think about the usual problems. Your homepage, it's probably a mess, trying to do 20 things at once with no clear call to action. Your about page, it reads like a boring, stuffy resume instead of telling a story that actually connects with a person. And your services page, oh man, it describes what you do, but it totally fails to explain why any of it matters to your ideal client. So here's how you can use AI to fix this, and this is the magic trick. Don't just ask it to rewrite my homepage. That's way too generic. No. Instead, you paste in your current text, and then you describe your ideal client in detail. Tell the AI what you want that person to feel when they read the page. Then, ask it to revise the copy with those very specific goals. What you get back is authentic, targeted, and 1,000,000 times better than a generic template. All right, let's move on to our second key, SEO, or search engine optimization. In plain English, this is just about making sure that when people are looking for the exact services you offer, your website actually shows up. You know, the biggest SEO mistake out there is just shockingly simple. It's this. The words your potential clients are actually typing into Google don't appear anywhere on your website. Someone might be searching for, say, wedding photographer in Austin, but the photographer's own site never uses that phrase. We tend to think in terms of our brand name, but our clients think in terms of what they need and where they are. And yep, you guessed it, AI gives us a super simple workflow here too. You just paste in your page copy, give the AI your target search terms, and ask it to weave them in naturally. The amazing thing is, the AI is smart enough to do this without it sounding clunky or robotic. It produces text that reads perfectly for a human, but also sends all the right signals to Google. And that brings us to our third and final key. It's not the most exciting one, but it is absolutely critical: maintenance. This is all about the little details that, when you let them slide, slowly chip away at a potential client's trust in your business. You know, taken one by one, none of these are a huge deal. But imagine a potential client lands on your site and sees an old copyright date from 2 years ago, and testimonials from 4 years ago, and a service listed that you don't even offer anymore. The message they get is loud and clear. This business does not pay attention to detail. and that is the absolute last impression you want to give. The good news is the fix for this is not complicated at all. It's just a habit. All you have to do is block out 90 minutes on your calendar once a quarter. That's it, 4 times a year. And in that time, you just go through your entire site methodically and update everything. Make it a routine, and your site will always look like it's run by a business that is completely on top of its game. So, we've got better content, better SEO, and a site that's well-maintained. Now let's tie this all together and talk about the real goal here, turning all those people who visit your website into actual paying clients. Let me ask you a tough question. Do you know your website's conversion rate? I mean, you might know how many people visit your site each month, but do you know what percentage of them actually do something? Like fill out your contact form or pick up the phone and call? That number, that's your conversion rate. For a lot of professional services websites, the conversion rate is, well, it's tragically low. A number like this means that for every 1,000 people who visit your site, a whopping 988 of them leave without doing a single thing. That's a massive, massive missed opportunity. And this gets to the absolute heart of the problem. You can spend all your time, money, and energy on social media, on networking, on anything to drive traffic to your website. But if that website isn't built to convert that traffic, it's all just a leaky pipeline. You're pouring all this value in the top, and it's just draining out the bottom. So here's what it all comes down to. Your website is not just another flyer or another social media post. It is the permanent, 24/7, always-on representation of your entire business. It is very often the first impression someone has of you, and it has the power to either reinforce all your other hard work or completely undermine it. So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. Take an honest look at your website today. Is it actually doing its job? Is it clear? Is it credible? And is it compelling enough to earn you that all-important second conversation with a potential client? Because with the tools we have today, it absolutely can be.